Good morning. It's January the 14th. A little bit of fresh snow overnight. You can see I've got some shoveling to do when I get back. In fact, there's a little bit of snow falling right now, but nothing significant. It's Friday, so that means we're going around the lake. And sunrise is at 8:53 a.m., so about an hour from now. About the time we get back. It should be coming up, although it looks cloudy, so we probably won't see it. Always a good way to see how much snow there's been. Look at the cars. It's -7, which is, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, thereabouts. Because there was fresh snow, this may be a more tiring walk. And a little slower, but we'll see. It's not really enough to slow. Well, even a little bit slows you down. Some people have already had someone out cleaning the walk, I see. Freshened everything up. We had that melting, which turns everything kind of brown on the streets because of the dirt. And a little fresh snow whitens it all up again. Got the external mic in again. It worked for the entire walk yesterday, both of them, so we'll see how it does today. I'm still editing. I'll be finished today on this big freelance editing job I've been doing. Then I'll be turning my attention to more editing, but for Shadowpaw Press. As I think I mentioned, I'm now starting to publish other authors and have 2 manuscripts to go through as I work towards that. A lot of research and planning and trying to figure out exactly my plan of attack for publishing these successfully, one hopes, so that they sell, make money for both the authors and me, the publisher. That would be nice. It's kind of pretty. It's kind of a tunnel effect with the trees and then the light at the end of it. That could be my thumbnail today. I quite like that look. And of course, I titled this "Here We Go Around the Lake Again," and I just realized the song running through my head as I walk was "Here we go around the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush." Which, of course, is where I got that phrase from. Here we go around the mulberry bush so early in the morning. Here we go around the lake again, the lake again, the lake again. Here we go around the lake again so early in the morning. Looks like they've turned off their Christmas lights over there. That's the one that had so many of them. I'm sure we'll run into people with dogs this morning. We always do. It's actually right when people are going to work right now. It just feels like the middle of the night because it's dark. Albert Street up there. Harrington Mews, I always point out, where Wally Knight lives in my Shards of Excalibur young adult fantasy series. Hello, David. Thanks for joining me. Oh, there's somebody on Facebook. Wendy, hello. Yeah, I'm a little earlier today. My wife's working at home, so I was able to just go. Oh, they've actually cleared some of the snow down here a little bit on these steps. Saskatchewan is a winter wonderland, or at least it's winter. What on earth? For a minute I thought they'd painted over the murals, but it's frost. It's because it was so cold and then it warmed up. Everything's covered with frost. Just for a minute I thought they had, for some reason, spray painted all of these bright murals with a faint wash of paint, but it's frost. Oh, that's cool. We'll walk, I think, towards the ledge, just because it's more interesting this time of night, morning, because it's lit up. Saskatchewan Legislative Building there. I need to zip up my coat a little bit more if I can. I can't really. Pardon me, probably hearing all sorts of weird noises there. There, that's better. So yes, Saskatchewan Legislative Building lit up. The sun will come up over there somewhere. The clouds must be pretty heavy. It's not showing much pre-dawn light yet. Maybe a little. Dramatic skies, land of living skies. Oh good, they have cleared the path recently. I mean, in fact, it looks like they've cleared it since last night's snow. Excellent. Bridge is still flying Saskatchewan flags. They fly various flags depending on what's going on. It's a nice temperature to walk at. I almost wore my leather jacket, my lighter jacket, but I decided maybe we weren't quite there. It's not too windy. I think the wind chill was minus 15, temperature's minus 7 Celsius. I have to stop to read. Yeah, it was pretty. I enjoyed walking around looking at Christmas lights. There's the lake. The glow in the sky is just reflected clouds, light reflecting off the clouds. I can tell from the overall brightness there must be some pre-dawn light showing up there, but now, whether I walk up to the ledge or not depends on whether they've cleared the ornamental garden walkways. It's not lit up for Christmas like it was, so I could just stay on the path here. Yeah, and they've created a skating area over here. Actually, maybe I'll walk that way just for that reason. See it? Those headlights there are the machinery. ledge. We'll get a better view of it in a minute. They were clearing this when I walked by here on Tuesday, I think it was. Now they put a fence up around it, boards, to make a hockey rink, skating rink. Rink on Wascana, says the sign, so there you go. I don't remember this being here other years, but perhaps it was. Somebody working on them right there. It's the legislative building. Have they cleared that? I guess they have. Okay, we'll go this way then. Or have they? No, they haven't really cleared the walkway up there, so I think I'll stick over to here instead. There it is. With Walter Scott there on his pedestal, holding blueprints for the legislative building. The wind off the lake is sharp-ish. Not compared to the day I walked around and it was minus 34, but still not spring, let's put it that way. All right, I'll go back over there. So this must be the warming shack. It's not normally here for the rink they've built there. See it again. Don't walk into a tree while you're doing that. Advice for me, not for you. The wind is behind me. I hadn't really noticed it until I got to where it could come unobstructed across the lake. And then it was suddenly, oh, it actually is kind of cold out here. It's supposed to be up around freezing again this weekend. But then more normal temperatures are below normal next week, so not as cold as we had it at 2 weeks of minus 30s, but colder than this. Oh, and there went the mic. I will try unplugging it and plugging it in one time, but I suspect it will just disconnect again, in which case I'll just go with the mic on the phone. Yeah, I thought I had it fixed because the other day it worked just perfectly for the entire walk, and yesterday it worked for the walk, but only the external mic. When I tried to use my wireless when it disconnected. I mean, if it only disconnected once or twice around the lake, I could keep plugging it back in. But if it does it again here in a couple of minutes, I particularly want to keep poking at it. And sometimes you end up with the camera out of focus too, if you're not careful, because of handling the phone. It still may have something to do with the signal, a side effect of a weak signal. Because when I tested it just in my house, what's that tall Christmas tree over there? I've never noticed it lit up before. That would be by the marina. I guess maybe I just haven't been out walking in this direction at the right time, but I think I had. Certainly stands out tonight. Again, the ledge is over there. I don't always walk on this part of the path. Sometimes I cut right by the ledge, but that, of course, is the lake. Snow-covered ice. They must have run a plow over the path just this morning, because that 3 or 4 centimeters of snow we had has been cleared off the path, which is nice. And of course they pile it up just like that. And there goes the microphone again. Try one more time. I mean, I can keep doing that, but it's a bit of a pain. But the sound is better with it, so. Oh, here comes people. First ones I've encountered on this walk. Going the other way. Morning. Yeah, and it quit again, so I guess we'll call it done. I'll just use the phone mic. There's usually a jogger, no matter what the weather's doing. There's usually somebody walking a dog, and usually a jogger. There's 2 things you can pretty much count on encountering. Disappointing. I really thought I had the mic thing figured out just a couple of days ago, but clearly nothing I've done has made the slightest difference. I'll probably keep trying, but it looks like a very nice place to sit at the moment. Back the way I was doing it last week, which was just not talking, but probably talk a little. Pretty. The sky is coming from reflected street lights because the clouds are hanging quite low. The actual sunrise will be over there somewhere. Still 45 minutes away, thereabouts. 40 minutes away. a couple more people framing themselves nicely in the path through the bushes. Morning. Hey, the comment bots are out in force. There's one. Ignore those. It's slick along here. Morning. So you can hear how fast I'm walking. Sky doesn't look nearly that bright to my eyes. The iPhone's trying really hard to lighten things up. Up a sweat, so it's certainly warm enough for that. There comes somebody else. It's because it's warmer. Go. It would be somebody with a dog. I wonder if we'll still see geese and ducks hanging around the bridge over to Pine Island. They get fed there. People will feed them, so some of them overwinter. Some of them probably, that's a bad choice, but migration has its own hazards, so who knows what the better solution is. But yeah, I'm seeing way more people than when it was 30 something below. Funny that. wind coming over the lake. Blowing from, seems to be blowing almost from the due north, probably northwest. My reward for doing this will be to shovel when I get home. So, yay. Downtown over there. Again, the sky is nowhere near that bright to my eyes, but it kind of washes it out. The wind is there. I wouldn't notice it if I were as bundled up as I was for the minus 30 days, but I didn't bundle up quite that much this morning. I'm just wearing a toque, not behind it. They don't clear anything over there, so I haven't been walking over there since the snow came. There's a few birds hanging out here, hoping for a handout. Ducks, which were the last ones I would think would hang around, since they normally feed. Sorry. Feed in open water, so why the heck they stayed? Well, they are bird brains. More dogs. The sun is over there somewhere, behind the clouds, waiting to come up. Probably in half an hour now. Yeah, about that. My warmer toque. I guess I can pop up my hood without buttoning it up. Oops. There we go. Just because of the wind. Don't worry about the benches. Nobody's going to be sitting on those this time of year. Broad Street now coming up. Or is the Wascana Parkway already at this point? Maybe it's Wascana Parkway. Except they call it the Broad Street Bridge, so it could be Broad Street down to here, and then it turns into the Wascana Parkway. To look it up. Across the frozen lake in the direction of the wind. Another bench you probably wouldn't want to sit on. Morning. This is the Broad Street Bridge. Well, that's the Broad Street Bridge. This is the footbridge. I haven't walked over on that side since the snow came, so I should do that one of these days. Wouldn't do it in the morning probably because I don't usually feel like driving anywhere, but it goes on around and goes all the way to the university. I've walked it many times, but just not since the snow came. Since the snow came in November, I guess it's been a while. Lots of people going for walks in the park. Now I don't know what the state of the walkway is over there. Last time I stayed up here. Let's see, that's somebody meeting somebody else and they're going to take a walk, I guess. I think I'll stay up here, just because I don't know what the state of the walkway is down there. Yeah, even a little bit of snow makes it harder. No question. See that tall tree over there, which I somehow never noticed until tonight, all lit up. Hopefully it'll still be lit up as we get closer to it. I think maybe it's at the Queen building. HMCS Queen, our landlocked ship. Oh. Between the snow and that little bit of uphill there, was harder than on a normal day. Okay. I haven't really cleared this walk for some reason, so that's gonna slow me down. If they cleared everything else, why haven't they cleared this? That's Wascana Center over there. There's those trees I spotted from the other side of the lake. Maybe I've just always been along here after it was too bright for them to leave the lights on. They're probably on a sensor of some kind. I don't know, I guess they're part of Wascana Center here. Why those two trees? Why not these trees? Maybe just because they show across the lake, as I noticed. So this is like the headquarters for Wascana Center Authority. Right here. Yeah, those really stood out from the other side today. Three of them, I guess. Still a little taste of Christmas here, even though we're midway through January. Yeah, this side of the lake is harder because they haven't cleared the path. Could walk on the road. Is that easier? Might be. Yeah, it is actually. Of course, as soon as I do that, here comes a car. Oh, they turned. I got the next one. They're coming on. Long Island. There's the Queen building. I should say it's Queen. Run as a ship. But obviously not sailing anywhere. Some sort of really bad flood. Another dog. That's where the naval cadets hang out. Naval cadet stuff. I had a nephew who was in the U.S. Navy. 20 years. Served all over the world in an aircraft carrier. I think once we get past the next parking lot, we'll find that they've cleared the road, the path. It seems odd to me they haven't done it here. Well, they have, but not recently. There's another person with the dog. Jogging and dog walking. Twofer. And breathe out. Lots of people said hello at the beginning of the walk. Nobody has said hello recently. Most people watch the recording anyway. Probably get about 100 views a video between the live and the archived. 275 subscribers, I think, at the moment. Started with like 50, so hasn't been a year yet. Not exactly exponential growth, but some growth. Parking lot. And of course, as I always mention, this is where my young adult fantasy series Shards of Excalibur begins, right here, but not at this time of the year. It's water. And the Lady of the Lake from King Arthur shows up right there and sends a couple of kids on a quest to find the Shards of Excalibur. One of the kids has the power of the Lady of the Lake, which is very helpful because they have to get around the world and they can't fly, so not easily. So she has the power to move through water. Morning. Some people say good morning, some people don't. They have not cleared this part of the path either. I wonder if it was the same little front end loader that was over there with the guy working on the boards for the skating rink. Maybe he just took it on himself to run up and down the pathways. I was hopeful that it'd be easy walking the whole way, but got this little bit of snow, makes it harder. I mean, not Arctic Explorer hard, but harder than walking on bare pavement. More tiring, anyway. Not sure why that is. I think it's the unevenness, so your muscles are always adjusting more. They do that without you thinking, fortunately. I mean, the actual motion of my legs isn't any different. So the difficulty comes from the uneven surface and the constant adjustment because of that, I think. This level of snow, heavy snow, well, then you've also got a lot more force required to take each step. Probably the people I passed on the other side of the lake completing their lap. Good morning. Not too much further now. Farther. Further is metaphorical, farther is actual distance. That's the fine distinction between those two that really pedantic editors like me try to enforce. Because I learned it, and darn it, I'm going to use it. Okay. You can see it's quite a bit lighter than when we started. But not as light as it would be if we didn't have cloud cover. The sun should be about, thank you very much. Not easily. There it is. Yeah, sunrise should be in 15 minutes. Oops, I'm back. Over there should be where the sun's coming up. Well, I'm sure it is coming up. It's just kind of showing itself. Come on, gimbal. It's not that cold. Uh-oh, sneeze coming on. Achoo! Excuse me. Cold makes your nose run. I'm not sure what the mechanism is there either. Partly condensation, I think. Cold air goes in into a warm environment, and whatever moisture it carries condenses out. And your body's probably trying to keep things warm in your nose, and so maybe it moves fluids around. I don't know. There's snowplows on the bridge over there. Flashing blue light. The gimbal is not reacting very well. Past her on the other side of the lake. She's one of the doesn't say good morning ones. Keep adjusting the gimbal manually because it's not making its side-to-side movements. It's not that cold. At -30, it just quit. After a while, 20 minutes in, it just went floppy. And the phone barely had enough juice to get around the lake at the coldest temperatures. Starting from fully charged, it was pretty much fully depleted by the time I'd walked for an hour at -30, 34. So if you're planning to go Arctic exploring, come on, work with me here, gimbal. If you're planning to go Arctic exploring, don't rely on your iPhone, or at least find a way to keep it warm. Moral of that story. Go back through the frosted, painted tunnel. Coming up, if you didn't see the beginning of the walk, I thought, I went down there and I thought the murals had been painted over with a faint whitewash. And I realized it was the walls are covered in frost because it was cold enough, long enough that they froze really hard and very cold. Well, freeze is not the right word. Their temperature dropped significantly to the point that when we got this little bit of warmer air, it frosted on top of that big mess of really cold rock or concrete. Well, you'll see in a minute if you stick with me here. So I'm almost there. Evening.
I'm curious.
Yep.
I always notice you have got your cell phone in the picture. Do you record it or?
Yeah, I actually have a YouTube channel of walking in Regina.
Oh.
And so people all over the world have joined me in walks around the city.
Okay, so it's kind of like, well, it goes online then.
Yeah, it's just it's really an incentive for me to walk every day. Not that many people watch it, but it's fun.
Oh yeah, it would be, yeah. Okay, well, great walk.
Thank you, you too. Hello from Sweden. We're just coming in at the end here, although of course it's all recorded. Just a couple of more blocks. So we'll say goodbye. Whoops. The gimbal is not reacting. Come on, swing around. There we go. We'll say goodbye to Wascana Lake and the Saskatchewan Legislative Building. Oh, what's with this thing? It's not that cold. I've walked at this kind of temperature many times without it, deciding it doesn't want to work, but this morning it seems to have seized up. Carpe gimbal, seize the gimbal. Okay, swing around here. Come on. Just point straight ahead and I'll leave you there. There we go. So this was the tunnel I was talking about. So after the minus 30 sums, these are very colorful murals, but because it got so cold for so long, and we got this little bit of warmer weather, it frosted on all of them. So it actually looks like somebody has painted over them, but that's just frost. As I said when I started today, it's about minus 7 Celsius. And going to minus 4 or something, so pretty mild. Let's go up around freezing for a couple of days this weekend and then go down into double-digit negative temperatures next week, but not as cold as those minus. When I touched the metal railing, my gloves stuck to it because I had pushed that frost on it. Got a little moisture on it. Don't stick your tongue in the metal. Okay. A couple of more blocks will take me home, sweet home. And then I get to shovel the walk from last night's snows. Like this house, as I've often mentioned. It's hard to point at anything because once I do, the gimbal just keeps pointing there like that. I'm actually pointing it straight forward and it's not moved. I think next week we're looking at sort of highs around minus 17, lows in minus 20s, or in Fahrenheit terms, highs in the single digits, and lows in the negative double digits. Actually, that's not true. Minus 22 Fahrenheit is only minus 18 is basically 0 Celsius. Minus 20 is basically minus 4. Minus 20 Celsius is basically minus 4 Fahrenheit. So I usually calculate from there, and then the degree difference is actually 1 Celsius degree is 9/5 of a Fahrenheit degree. Divide by 9, divide by 5. And if you know your starting point, it's easy to figure. If you start at 0, then you have to figure in the difference in the 0 points. Subtract 32. And of course they come together at minus 40, same temperature in both scales. Snow clearing service up here of some sort. I walk on the street because it's easier, and then I don't run into the guy with his snowblower. Shovel. He's got a blower. I got a shovel. I have a blower, but I never use it. It's just too much pain to get it out of the garage and plug it in. And it's heavy. I actually find using a shovel, barring a really huge dump of snow, to be easier. We even have just a little power shovel, and I don't like it either. Although, 62, give me a few more years, I'll start hiring somebody to do it. Every year now I think, it'd be nice if I could hire somebody to do this. My legs certainly know I was walking in fresh snow. They're complaining. Okay, here we are in Angus Crescent. Whew. How long did today's take? 57. Pretty much right on an hour. That's because I'm not going on to Pine Island and some things I do in better weather, because that adds a little bit. Okay, so we will stop here. Thank you for walking with me, whether live or watching the recording. And I imagine I'll be back tomorrow, although weekends are sometimes a little iffy in the winter, but I'll be back sometime soon. Bye for now.